Hey students, so you guys have gotten to see a couple of videos about how to make a walk cycle, and what we're going to do is we're going to make a walk cycle, very simple one using only stick figures, but we're going to be using those four poses, the contact, recoil, passing, and high point poses. This tends to be a little bit tricky at first. You're probably going to screw it up a couple times, so that's one of the reasons why I haven't given you a whole lot of assignments for this week, just a few really basic, easy ones, because it takes a little while, and it's probably you're probably going to screw things up at least a couple times before you feel like you've gotten this right. So let me show you exactly how we're going to do this. It's kind of similar to our last animation, where we're going to be working with two different images. Now, what I want to do first is I want to make an layer and put a new layer onto this. Okay, and that new layer I'm going to want to take and I'm going to want to flood fill it, but I want to flood fill it with white. Alright, so I've got a layer that's my background, alright, and I've got a layer that is just straight up white. Now, what I want to do is I want to go and create another layer, so I now have three. And on this layer, I'm going to draw my first pose, which is going to be contact. So I'm going to switch my paintbrush. I'm going to adjust this, these brush sizes and anything else I need to, so that I make sure it looks the way that I want. That's pretty good. And oops, switch the color back to black. And I'm going to draw my contact pose. So I'll have this. Now, usually in the contact pose, you get one arm kind of going this way, another arm kind of going this way. One leg is straight out. I usually like to mark where my knee is, okay? And the heel is up. I'm sorry, the heel is down, the toe is up, okay? Your second foot is kind of here and kind of moves back a little. And that's usually what your contact looks like, your contact pose. Now what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to edit. I'm going to copy visible. And I'm going to paste it as a new image. So I'll have my working one over here, and I'll have my actual animation is going to have more layers on it over here. Okay, so this is the first one, and what we need to do is this. I want to take this layer's opacity down pretty far. So let's take this and drag it down to something a little more manageable. Okay, maybe 30% or so. So I can still see it. But what that's going to do is going to give me a good jumping off point to go from for my next one, for my recoil. Okay, so for my recoil, I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to try to get it as close as possible. If it's not perfect, don't worry about it. Okay, the body more or less stays the same. However, this arm is going to begin to come in a little. Try to make them about the same size. This arm is going to come in a little. This leg that had the heel up is now going to have the heel down, and we're starting to shift the weight onto this foot, so it's no longer going to be up. It's going to be right about here. And this foot is actually the one that's going to be getting ready to get picked up. So I'm going to go here, and we're going to end up with something more along the lines of that. Okay. Now, before I copy this over, I still have that little ghost image underneath, which I obviously don't want to have. So I'm going to hide that layer, right-click and go to Edit, Copy Visible, right-click here, Edit, paste as a new layer. Okay. Excuse me. Now, basically, all I'm doing for the next two steps is I'm rinsing and repeating. So I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to take that old layer that we just made. I'm going to drag this down to somewhere around 30%. I'm going to make a new layer on here. Again, I'm going to try to make it zigzag a little bit there. I'm going to try to make it as close as I can to the original. Body stays more or less the same. This arm is going to be right about here. We'll put this arm right about here. Now, at this point, all of the weight should be on that leg that was the original contact leg. So this is moved here now. Okay, we've got a good amount of weight on it. And that leg that was behind is now beginning to move forward. So we got it about right here. Alright. Now I'm going to edit this. Copy visible. Edit. Paste as new layer. Okay. And you can see, whoops, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to hide the last layer. Let's do that again. Edit, copy visible, paste as, new layer. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead, go back to this. Excuse me, got a little bit of a cold this week. And make my new layer on this one, and this is going to be my high point pose. So I'm going to go here, body stays the same. This arm is getting up a little further. Well, excuse me, actually this arm was going backwards, so this arm is going back a little more. This arm that was underneath is now going a little further. Okay, this leg is going to be shifting back even more. Oops, too much. And this leg is going to be coming up to the high point of it. Alright, let's hide the last one. So we copy visible, paste as, new layer. Alright, now if I go in here and I take a look right now, I'm going to go to filters, animation, playback. Okay, I'm starting to kind of get the beginnings of this a little bit, but I really want to go through that next step in the animation so that we can totally get it right. I'm going to very quickly do that now, and I'm going to not talk over it. I'm just going to speed up the film so that you can watch the whole thing. I'm going to start with another contact, and at the end we'll take a look at what this final animation looks like. So I've completed the other 4 steps of my walk cycle, the contact, recoil, passing, and high point. Okay, so I've got one for what is the left foot and one for what is the right foot on this animation. It's a little hard to tell which leg is which sometimes because it is a stick figure, but when you've done this, you want to take a look at the filters menu, go to animation and playback, and we should get a good idea for what this looks like now. Alright, and is it the greatest thing you've ever seen? No, it's not the greatest walk animation, but it's really not that bad either. It's fairly smooth, and it's looking pretty nice. This is something that we can live with. Once you have completed this animation, what I would like you to do is make sure you go to the file, you go to export. I'm going to call this walk cycle GIF. You're going to export it. And remember to save it as an animation. If you want to put a GIF comment in, you can. You don't have to do that. And remember to loop it forever. Hit the export. And then I would like you to upload this to your digital portfolio so that I can see them. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. And don't forget, you can always check out the help forums. Thanks.